my name is Andrea Stern. I'm the owner of Satori Yoga Studio, and I'm really excited to be here today with Jill Satterfield, who's created the Embodied Mind teacher training. I know that a lot of our students have good jobs, and so they're not necessarily looking to become yoga teachers, but I'm really excited to have Jill on board to be teaching this very special training and immersion to help people to take their practice a little bit deeper, and if they are looking to become a teacher, to do it in, I think, a really mindful way.
Jill Satterfield, and I'm very excited to be offering these two trainings. Really, there's going to be an immersion and a full-on teacher training that combines these, let's say, different ways of being in our body, being with and in our minds, and being with and coming from our hearts in a way that I think is very practical, very accessible, and re-life orienting, let's say, because we can be doing any of these practices, these really amazing ancient wisdom practices, just on a very surface level, and not really walk them out of the studio or off the cushion. And there's a lot of talk about coming off the mat and off the cushion, and so my interest is, well, how do we live these practices? I mean, how do they really hit home? How do they become part of our bones, part of our cells, part of the way that we think, that we breathe, that we are with each other, that we are with ourselves? And so that the real interesting components of these threads of practice, let's say, are the kindness towards ourselves and towards others, and learning how to be a little bit more compassionate and take care of ourselves and other people. There's a social action element of these trainings, because if you care, you want to help other people even more. There's knowing our own mind, which is really helpful, because we do tend to cause ourselves quite a bit of trouble in our minds, and there are ways that we can reduce and liberate the ways that we cause ourselves a lot of pain and discomfort and inner stress. And then there's the emotional quality and quantity of loving ourselves. I sometimes stumble on that one, because it's something that we need to learn, and it's a quality that can be enhanced. And then there's the body element. How do we live in our body? Do we live in our body? A lot of times we live in our minds, and that's okay, and that's appropriate in a lot of places. But to be actually earthbound is quite an asset and a skill to relate to our bodies in a way that isn't just on the outside, but on the inside. Well, how can we even take care of our bodies in a little bit of a better way? Realign them, strengthen them, limber them up, feel better in them. It's not a panacea. It won't keep us from getting ill. We get ill, we get older, hopefully, and eventually we'll die. But these are all things that help us to live a life that has more ease. And so I think it's like, how do we get real with ourselves and our lives in general? And these wisdom traditions really give us some incredible tools. So there are two ways that anybody can come in and study and practice with us, and that's through an immersion. You have a little less time. Maybe you don't want to make a big commitment, but you want to gain more access and deepen your practice, or even start a practice. A lot of people want to start a mindfulness practice or a yoga practice, and this helps. And then there's a 200-hour training, which will help you to go out and share the practices with other people. I mean, I think that's really what that's all about. Or maybe you have more time and you want to deepen and be part of that community. So the other aspect that's really important is community, because we're gathering people who are a little bit more self-reflective, want to take care of themselves and other people, want to meet people of like minds and like hearts. That's really important today. You know, we need to have a community, a sangha, a group where we feel comfortable, where we can have some great laughs, and where we can go a little deeper and learn together. So we have these two ways that we can engage with each other, and yeah, I'm thrilled to be here and have a very sane and accessible place as well to offer the trainings. It's not making claims that this is gonna create an environment that's impossible to meet. It's not just about fixing your body up and it's not all good all the time. There's a lot that's not, but how do we work with the causes and conditions that are current in our world, inner world and outer world right now? And so I think we share that similar outlook on that.